everybody, and welcome to Good Luck High Five, episode 470.
That's right. You're listening to a podcast that's for you if you play Magic the Gathering. Whether you, too, are wondering why there have been no alchemy adjustments as of yet, or you're just like, hey, man, I'm having a real good time, and Commander, we are here for you.
I'm one of your hosts, Maria.
I'm another one of your hosts, Megan.
And on today's show, speaking of alchemy, we've been playing it, and we want to talk about it.
That's right. The Arena Qualifier weekend just happened, and there are a whole bunch of deck lists that people used to qualify for the upcoming Kamigawa Neon Dynasty Set Championship.
And speaking of that set championship, the main format of that championship has just been announced, and it's going to be alchemy.
It's going to be alchemy and historic.
Wow, that's wild. And the top eight's going to be alchemy. So we're going to be living in an alchemistic world here.
Coming at ya.
For real. And even though we're awaiting some potential nerfs or power-ups, I don't know. That's never happened in Magic before. I'm like boosts. What do we call it? In alchemy, whatever happens, we still have some main decks that will be hanging around, and who knows when they're going to make that announcement. So
no one knows.
No one knows. We're going to talk about
nobody knows
top decks in the format, what we've been playing, what we've been vibing with,
what we hope will be adjusted.
Yes, exactly.
Down. I just want to be clear, adjusted down. We have some really strong thoughts on adjusting things down.
Down. That's where we're at. We're also going to talk about Neon Dynasty, of course, because previews start this Thursday.
Wow.
The set is almost here. Releases on Arena on the 10th of February. Our preview card is coming out next Good Luck High Five, so that'll be on the 1st. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I hate that saying. Why did I say it? It's so gross.
Keep your eyes peeled?
Yes. It's horrifying.
Maria, do you think that every time you open your eyes in the morning that you are peeling your eyes?
No. Like you peel the skin off a grape. That's what I think.
Every time you blink, you're peeling your eyes.
No, I'm not.
Oh, there you go.
It's the worst saying in the English language. Keep an eye out. That also sounds painful to eyes. What the heck?
Yeah.
But our preview card's coming out on the 1st. A bunch of creators are releasing their preview cards. The preview card schedule is on dailymtg.com if you want to keep up on when and where those previews are going to be posted. But we're going to round out our backstory of Kamigawa.
Yes, we are. We're going to talk about the rest of the little snippets of history story that have been dropped with those gorgeous, long vertical arts that probably go on sagas.
Yeah.
We're going to take a little bit of a farther dive into that and talk about Mark Rosewater's little teasers about what's coming in the set with some specifics.
Yeah, he gave us some really cool specifics, so we're going to go over that and what we think he might be alluding to with his teasers from his blogatog. And if you happen to hear a little tink, tink, tink in the background.
I was about to say, also joining us today is our radiator making quite a bit of noise. It's quite cold here.
Yeah, just think of it as ghost host, piping up for the first time.
Yeah,
piping up! Oh! Swish!
I don't understand why you were...
Because it's a pipe. The radiator.
Oh! I thought you were on purpose making that pun, but you're saying, ghost host, this is like piping up.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're just saying piping because it's making a pipe noise.
No, my brain was there about 10 seconds after my mouth, which is generally how it works. But before we start the show today, we want to say thank you to everyone who makes this show literally happen by being a patron over on patreon.com/GLHF Magic.
Yes, thank you specifically to Matt, Sander, Jeff, and Rebecca, our 4 new patrons since last week. Thank you so very much, and to everyone who has already become a patron in the past. It really does keep this show on its 2 tiny little legs. All right, it's a big show and it's just got 2 little legs, but you're keeping those legs going.
I'm imagining Golgari long legs type legs, very spidery.
I was imagining like Barbie legs.
Hey, I like that.
Like Barbie legs and then like a collage of just everything that is Good Luck High Five.
Oh, that's kind of cool. We should make that art.
Anyways, you keep those legs going.
Yes, you do. Patreon.com/GLHF Magic. Get a bunch of cool benefits. Access to our Discord. Access to our February movie night. Access to our Good Luck High Five tournaments. etc.
Etc.
Thank you as well to Card Kingdom. You can check them out on the internet. It's cardkingdom.com/GLHF. That's our affiliate link to use to buy anything you need for your magical life.
Yeah, they are just an excellent sponsor. We appreciate them so much. And they are just a great place to go Valentine's Day shopping, maybe?
Absolutely.
Wondering what to get for the Magic player in your life for Valentine's Day?
If you're like, I can't get them flowers or chocolate, that's so overdone.
Okay, you can always get a person chocolate. I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in there and say that there isn't an inappropriate time.
I just had an idea. I had an
gift
idea.
a person chocolate.
What if you get them a deck box and you fill it with chocolate?
Oh my God!
That sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
That sounds pretty good. We're talking wrapped chocolates and not
fondue. That's
or
an idea.
Just go for it. Deck box fondue. Card Kingdom. Deck box fondue. You're welcome.
I don't want to know what chemicals are leaching into my chocolate there. Oh my God. I mean, it would be cool though.
It would be cool, and also don't eat it.
Also don't eat it.
All right, but before we get started, it is time for the Scryfall Randomizer.
Yay!
Maria, I have pulled up a card for you.
Okay.
Tell us what you see.
What is this? Okay, this is very monochromatic as far as most of the art goes. We've got a flying kind of dragon beast situation. Somebody is riding this dragon beast. It looks like a merfolk or a gorgon. I'm not sure. The beast has like 5 blue flags coming off of them, embedded in their back. I don't know. But the person riding this beast has a giant spear, and they're floating over a city that has a building that's like a dragon's claw tower.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. What the heck is this card?
All right. I will tell you the name.
All right, hit me.
Sky Hunter Prowler.
I was gonna say it was something Sky Hunter Prowler. So this is a flyer. This is a white flyer. It's a 2/3 for 4 mana, and for 1 and a white, it gets lifelink.
Wow, you are remarkably close.
Woo! Yes, all right.
Sky Hunter Prowler is originally from 5th Dawn.
Oh my gosh.
Was reprinted both in 9th and 10th edition. It is 2 and a white for a 1/3 flying vigilance. The end.
Okay. The end. Oh, what a pooper of a card.
It is of all things a cat knight.
Oh, that's a cat. There's no way that's a cat. Look at that art.
No, that art doesn't look like a cat.
They must have been like, we need some more cats in this set because
it 100% is a fish.
I swear. This is a fish person.
It is absolutely a fish person.
When I said it was a merfolk, I was right. They changed it. They retconned it.
Look at the fish mouth. There's a fish mouth. There's
scales.
Fish eyes.
It's wearing like a fish bra.
It's 100% fish.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, who knows what happened?
We're exposing the secrets of Magic the Gathering here on Good Luck High Five.
This cat isn't even a cat.
Oh, okay. You've seen this card before, Megan.
Oh.
Very recently. In fact, so recently, can you remember it?
Wow. Oh, okay. Yes, this is obviously a vamp of some kind.
Yeah.
What we're seeing here is like a person standing on a staircase. This might be Anya Falconwrath. It looks like it could potentially be her. She's got one very bloody hand that it looks like she's about to like lick her own hand because it's so bloody it looks appetizing to her. And there's like a very angry ghost behind her.
Yes.
And she's wearing an excellent coat.
A really nice coat.
Yeah.
Great description. That is 100% what is happening.
I'm trying to remember what this card is.
Yes, indeed. This is Anya Falconwrath.
It is Anya Falconwrath?
Yes, you nailed it.
Wow.
I was wondering if you were going to get it, but you did.
It's the one from her Commander set,
very
right?
good. Very good. Yep. This is from her Commander 2019 set.
I believe that she just cost black-red.
Close. It's 1 black-red.
1 black-red.
Yeah.
All right. I have no idea what she did.
Okay.
But 1 black-red. I'll say 1 black-red for like, she's like a little creature, I want to say. Like a 2/2 or something like that. Like a 1/2 even. A 1/2 or a 2/2. Did she do something with tokens?
Well, she had to do something cool because she's a commander.
Because she is a commander, yeah. I'm going to say that she had an ability where you could pay black, red, and tap and make a copy of a token you could.
That's a good guess. Okay, so she's a 1/3, so very close.
Okay, yeah.
She has haste, which is important for her next ability. Tap, discard a card, draw a card.
Okay, yeah.
She's the Madness Commander.
Oh, duh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, whenever you
Madness.
discard a card, if it has Madness, untap Anya Falconwrath. Flavor text, we all hide a little madness behind our sophistication, do we not?
Ooh, wow. I'm very proud that I called that. This was really specifically Anya Falconwrath in the art.
You knew it was also from the Commander set. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Because we don't often get that. Slash, we never gotten that on the randomizer yet.
No. Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That art is sweet. Let's kick off the show talking about everybody's favorite new format of Magic the Gathering, Alchemy.
Wow, Maria. You really could almost say that with a straight face.
I mean, it is the newest format of Magic the Gathering.
Format.
So therefore, it is everyone's favorite because
new format.
It is the new format. I actually happen to quite like Alchemy.
I have been enjoying it, to be fair.
Yeah, and
I do like it. I do like it better than Standard right now.
Yeah, Standard right now. I mean, look, we all knew we had the championship. It was like, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed. So
Standard feels like big and clunky and just like
dinosaur
situation. And Alchemy is like a little weasel. Okay? It's smooth. It's streamlined. It knows where it's going. Alchemy is the weasel of Magic the Gathering formats.
Hello, I'd like a pet. What kind of pet are you interested in? I need it to be smooth. Streamlined, and I needed to know where it's going.
Okay, let us show you to our ferret section. There you go.
Yeah, I think some people are kind of, I think the market is split here on Alchemy because some people are like, oh, these decks, some of them are really oppressive and really good, and I was hoping to see more stuff. But other people are like, no, I feel like it's diverse enough and that we're getting different kinds of decks than we've seen in Standard, which is the case for a lot of these. And hopefully we can be a little bit more proactive with adjustments to cards in Alchemy. Like we said, we don't know when that's going to happen. But they said it would be after the weekend qualifier tournament, which just happened this past weekend. So Meghan and I are here like, come on, let's go. It's Monday.
Like, okay, exactly. That's how I feel, right? Like, it's Monday.
Yeah, let's go.
Where's the fan? We know you've been where's the adjustment? We know you've been thinking about it.
And if they can be a little bit more fast and flexible with these, I think that'll put Alchemy in an even better place than it is right now.
I want to hear about how you're going to kill Inquisitor Captain.
Okay, well, let's have
put some
ideas on the table.
Specific.
Okay, let's make some predictions.
Okay.
We're recording this Monday. Okay, so if this happens later Monday or on Tuesday, we did not know.
Yeah.
Let's make some predictions. What do we want changed, and how will it change?
Inquisitor Captain costs 5 mana.
That is the problem with Inquisitor Captain, everybody.
Is when you Inquisitor Captain, which
has happened to me.
Yeah.
I mean, because of because you can copy Inquisitor Captain by adding blue into these black-white decks or whatever.
Yeah.
You get a chain of them that is just impossible. It's impossible to beat when they chain like that.
Yeah.
So, and it just feels kind of unfun.
So what are we going to do about this card? I say 5 mana. If you cast this, you cast it at 4, I'm big mad. If you cast it at 5, I'm like, fine.
I don't know. I just don't want to have it happen more than once. That's all I care about.
Okay.
But I don't know how to fix that.
Yeah.
Maybe our Radiator can help us out with this.
Hey, Radiator, what do you think? Ping.
Ping, ping, ping.
Wow. I just don't know.
What if you seeked one card?
You seek, but okay, so you can only seek one and you put it into play.
Yeah. I don't think
instead of choosing 2.
Correct.
Or instead of looking at 2, choosing one. Yeah, okay. Because then you're just less likely to hit it.
Yeah.
So it happens less often.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a thought I have about that card.
Yeah.
So that's
maybe
a card.
It's bad and maybe it's good.
Right. I mean, they're all going to be at least fine. But a lot of times, you'll get Inquisitor Captain. You're like, oh, both of these cards are not the one that I wanted in this situation. I wanted to be able to kill something. But when someone
plays like a Jasper a Sentinel and then by turn 3 they cast Inquisitor Captain and you're like, no. No.
Okay. Right? What other card do you want to see nerfed?
Okay. I can't believe I'm saying this, but something out of the control deck needs to be nerfed.
Okay, we're gonna get to deck lists in a minute, but first we're gonna start with cards out of noise. So are you talking about the 6 mana draw 3?
I could be, yes. Like, I would accept that being nerfed.
Yep.
What's its name? What's its stupid name? Discover the Formula.
Discover the Formula.
This card is busted.
This card is very, very good. It's 4 blue. Seek 3 non-land cards. Then non-land cards in your hand perpetually gain, quote, this spell costs 1 less to cast. So
and it's an instant.
Is it instant?
Make it a sorcery. Okay.
I mean, yeah, that helps. It's just like
big time.
You're definitely not going to hit lands, which is a problem
that's
too.
Really rough.
And then everything is cheaper in your hand. It's like once somebody has discovered the formula, you're like, I don't.
Yes, you can't win. You feel like you can't win the game.
Yes, exactly. Which is
you're
kind
like,
of
I'm done.
Absurd when we're talking about a 6 mana instant. Like that is what wins the game.
But it does.
It does.
And you know what? I loved Sphinx's Revelation, but sometimes you hit a bunch of lands.
Yeah.
And that's the trade-off. And what if you cast Sphinx's Revelation and every time it was only spells?
Oof. That's rough.
It was all spells all day.
Yeah.
Or I would also in lieu of that accept some kind of nerf to Lear Disciple of the Drowned. Because nothing means game over more than your opponent playing a Lear.
Yeah, if you can't kill the Lear, you're
just done for.
You're done.
And a lot of the red removal right now doesn't hit this. There's lots that does, or there's some that does, but there is lots that does not.
What do you want to do? Put this on 3 toughness?
Ooh, I would, make it a 3/3. Okay.
Okay.
I think 3/4 is too tough.
1 too tough.
Yes.
As it were. 1 too tough. Lear Disciple of the Drowned, very, very, very powerful card.
Yeah.
What do you feel about Key to the City? You think anything needs to be done with Key to the City?
You mean Key to the Archive?
Key to the Archive, sorry.
No.
4 mana. Get yourself whatever you need in a situation.
But it's draw, discard. And you only get to select, like you get to pick one thing out of 3.
That's true.
And it's vulnerable to stuff that removes artifacts.
Yeah, Key to the City I find highly annoying because of the fact that it ramps for 2, I think is my biggest beef with it.
Yeah.
But, you know, maybe it's fine. It might just be fine if we tinker with all of this other stuff.
Yeah.
So that's a thought I have about that.
It does cost 4 and come into play tapped.
Correct.
Like, these are kind of my things. Like, I'm not as mad when they play that. I'm like, this is annoying, but it feels like a normal tool in the arsenal of control decks. Whereas Lear...
It's a very good tool. You're getting a spell that's going to be relevant, ramping yourself 2 mana.
But you don't know that it's going to be relevant because you're drafting something out of its spellbook.
I know.
Right?
They're just pretty good.
They are pretty good. I'm saying, but it's not, for me, it's not fundamentally messing with the game in the way that Lear and Discover the Formula are.
Yeah.
Key to the City, or Key to the Archive, you did your job. You got to 4 mana. You played this artifact, sorcery speed. You're not going to do anything else that turn. It's already tapped, right? Your opponent has the chance on their turn to do something really busted in return because you've tapped out for this.
Yes.
And at this point, right, it's the difference between 5 mana on their next turn versus 7, which like is right. It's
versus
already a lot of mana.
Hullbreaker horror.
That's true. But
yes,
right, it just feels to me more like a classic control toolbox piece as opposed to Discover the Formula and Lear, which are just really broken.
Do you have any other cards you would like to submit to the chopping block?
Ooh, do you have anything that comes to mind?
Those are my main ones.
We have Inquisitor Captain, and then
Discover the Formula,
and then something out of blue. Probably Discover the Formula.
Yes. Yep.
Although I would, like I said, also accept making Lear a 3/3. Just so that you can freaking maybe kill it. Just maybe. I just want a chance. I just want, in theory, the opportunity.
I love killing Lear. It's so great. Because normally they think they've won once they've cast their Lear. And then if you're able to kill it, you're like...
But you know what? At 4 toughness, it's really hard.
It is harder than it should be. Let's put it that way. How about Town Razor Tyrant? I'll put that on the table.
That card sucks big time and I hate it. No, that card makes me quite mad.
Woo, I think we hit a nerve, everybody. Yeah, Town Razor Tyrant is extremely good. This is a 4/4 dragon that when it comes in, you can put its effect on what am I say?
Yes.
Choose a land your opponent controls, and that land's going to deal 2 to them on their upkeep unless they sacrifice it.
And it is the fact that it doesn't matter if they're they can choose a basic.
Yes, they can.
You can be a person who's playing by the rules and only using basics.
Using basics is what's playing by the rules. Anybody who uses a duel
is not playing by the rules.
Magic cheater.
Cheating big time.
I like that definition. Townriser Tyrant, I think the main issue that I have with this card is the fact that it's in this Dragons deck, or sometimes Werewolves plays it. Yeah. But if it's being played with the Dragon Whelp,
they can play it on 3.
They can play it on
you
3.
Really want to stab someone.
And that's
like they played a 4/4 that's hitting your land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
So your Nerf idea is this can only hit non-basics?
That's there's my proposal.
I think that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to hit it most of the time anyway.
Because most of the time you have them.
Yes.
But it does just feel especially insulting when it's like
your
basic forest. And I'm like, it's a basic forest. It's not supposed to do anything wrong.
Well, it's also weird because most effects in Magic don't have anything to do with basic lands.
Yes, exactly. It's non-basics. Even
no
Blood
touchy.
Moon.
Yeah.
The greatest hater of all haters.
The greatest hater of all time, Blood Moon.
The biggest hater. Look, you're trying to tell me that Blood Moon isn't the biggest hater out there, okay?
Blood Moon's a huge hater.
Blood Moon is a really big hater.
Never text Blood Moon if you need advice.
No, it does not. Even it knows better than to touch basics. It's like, no, I'm a big hater, but I'm not that big a hater.
And the Boggles player is like, I have one plane somewhere.
Yeah, this is very true. I mean, that is everybody in Modern is like, well, time to go find my one basic land.
Yeah, so that's an aggressive card. I think could use a little bit of a ding on the head with a hammer.
Agreed.
But I don't have a problem, I don't think, with many of these other ones.
No.
Like, I'm biased, but that's kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah, I would say Townriser Tyrant was like a good ad.
Yeah.
It really makes me quite angry.
I can't think of anything that I'm like, I think it takes a lot more brain power, Galaxy Brain, to be able to say what you want a card to be improved, Yeah. Saying what you think should be nerfed is a lot easier than saying what you think should be better.
Okay. Is there something speaking of a deck that has been good but not great?
Sure.
Necessarily. Orzhov.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of Orzhov running around, but it never feels like, I don't know if you feel this, but when it comes up as your match in an alchemy game, like your opponent like plays some blue-white or black-white spells and you're like, oh, fine, great. This is nice.
It's like almost good enough, but not quite good enough. So maybe it's a perfect contender.
So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Is there something in this that we could look at and say, well, is there a change that we could make here?
Well, the cards from Alchemy this deck is playing are cards like Cursebound Witch, which I think is a fine card the way it stands. The 1/2 that drafts from the spellbook when it dies.
Yep, absolutely fine.
City Stalker Connoisseur. This card is cool.
This card is very cool.
Making your opponent discard the most expensive spell in their hand.
Yep, I like it quite
and it
a
has
bit.
Death Touch.
Yeah.
Perhaps that card's not quite good enough. I really like it, but
yeah, could we make City Stalker Connoisseur 3 mana?
Ooh.
2 and a black for a 3/3 Death Touch. It makes them discard their most expensive spell.
I like that. Is that too good? Probably not.
I don't think so.
Not when I'm thinking about cards like Inquisitor Captain.
Yeah, exactly. Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
Or the other thing that I could see making a change to is Sanguine Brushstroke.
What about it?
Again, what if you took off 1 mana? What if this was a 2 mana spell?
Yikes. I think that would be too good, but Sanguine Brushstroke, I love this card.
It's a really cool card. I really like it.
Yeah, this one dings them when you sacrifice blood tokens.
What if you cut the colorless though, and it is still black?
Oh, that's a little bit better.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you're playing with a little bit of fire because I'm imagining everybody playing this deck and mirror matches and whatever. But, maybe it would be fine. Maybe it would be fine.
Exactly. Like, does it make it good enough that what you end up with is a bunch of mirror matches? I don't necessarily think so.
It's really fun to stack this card. Which also creates you a blood artist that dings the opponent when your creatures die. So not only are they taking damage when they kill your stuff, penalized for doing that, but also penalized when you sacrifice blood tokens. So if you have multiple of these in play, I played a deck where the whole point of the deck was to kill people with Sanguine Brushstroke, which was very cool.
Yeah. Okay, what about Rakdos?
Okay.
Because Rakdos is another deck.
Yes.
That it's been it's been kind of like dancing around. But again, I feel like it comes up if I'm playing against it. I'm like, nice.
Yeah, it's
I
just
don't feel afraid because red green is just so much bigger.
Yes, red green is the best aggressive deck in the format right now, the Werewolves deck, which Frank Karsten played this past weekend in the qualifier weekend, so I'll throw his deck list up on the video version of this podcast. If you're interested, you can find it on Twitter. Yeah, but you know me, I would personally wish for an aggressive Rakdos deck to be on the same tier as the Werewolves deck, so that we don't just have that one option.
Of course you would.
Now, Rakdos mid-range is a deck people have been playing. A few people made the qualification weekend requirement. What am I trying to say? They made the Neon Dynasty Championship with this deck. And various kinds of forms of it, which are playing, you're still playing Bloodthirsty Adversary, which is kind of the core card of this deck, which is a 2/2 with haste, that if you pay 3 extra mana, you can flashback something from your graveyard, a spell.
Ooh. It is
which is very
good.
cool. And then you are playing just like value creatures once again, like Townraiser Tyrant, Sinny Stalker Connoisseur that we mentioned before, Graveyard Trespasser, Rahilda, who's my personal favorite, gets played in the Werewolves deck as well.
Rahilda's pretty cool.
I love her. She's number 1 in my book. But we're still not like going all in on aggro vampires here.
And again, like even this deck, so its problem here is that like in red green you have Tovolar and Werewolf Pack Leader to draw you cards, and this, even though it has like some
blood tokens,
some good creatures, and it does have a lot of removal, it can't fight that battle of if you get hit once or twice with a Tovolar or other werewolves, they've already outcarded you, and it's like, okay, you can have all the removal in the world, but if you can't keep up 1-for-1.
Yeah, not only have they outcarded you, they've outcreatured you too, because the creatures are better.
Yeah.
So blood tokens can't keep up with just drawing cards natively.
Yeah, it's true. It does have Florian, Voldaren, Scion. I do like this in the matchup because it's a first strike 3/3.
I love Florian.
Which is quite good.
Yeah.
Does some good work. But yeah, again, it's just like it's not quite what you need.
I feel like it wants the 2/1 flyer to be slightly better, but that's not an alchemy card. I guess we could mess with it in alchemy, but I don't know if they've ever said they would do that.
Yeah.
I suppose they did mess with cards that weren't alchemy prior to alchemy.
Yes.
So there is somewhat of a standard for it. I don't know. Yeah. I wish we could have an aggressive Rakdos deck. I've only wanted it for the past 10 years.
Maria always wants one.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, this does look like a good deck. You should try it out.
Yeah, so this deck list, once again, on the video version, we'll put a link to all of these in the show notes as well, is a deck that made Neon Dynasty Championship. So
someone piloted it to enough wins
to be able to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Wild.
Yeah, so that's my thought about Rakdos generally. Yeah. As far as how the tier list goes for you in Alchemy currently, what is the number 1 best deck, do you think?
Esper Control.
Esper Control. Okay.
I think Esper Control is right up there, and I think Werewolves is pretty far up there.
Yeah. I'm going to add another deck to this list.
Okay.
Clerics. Esper Clerics.
Okay.
Oof. This deck's so good.
Wow. Maybe I just haven't played against it that much.
Oh my gosh. So it's the first deck on this list that we have in front of us here.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah. So Esper Clerics is a creature deck. So you'd be like, Maria, why don't you play this deck? This deck seems very good. And you know what? Yes, but it feels too good. So like,
wow.
What I mean is I feel bad playing it. That's how good it is. It's running Inquisitor Captain, of course. It's running Glasspool Mimic, so you can copy your Inquisitor Captain. Yeah. So you've got that package going on. And then you've got the Clerics package. So you're playing Cleric of Life's Bond that gains life and gets bigger when you play Clerics, which all these cards, of course, are. Voice of the Blessed is the number 1 hated card for me in this deck. That when you gain life, it gets counters on it. And once it has enough counters, it's flying and indestructible with Vigilance.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do about it, especially if you're playing werewolves like I am. This deck has, I don't know, I don't even want to guess what my win rate against it is because it's so bad, I'm sure.
Yeah, what are you playing?
Werewolves.
Yeah, I think that this is a bad matchup for other creature decks.
Yes.
Versus a control, like
control
when control
might be
is such
okay.
I think that control is probably actively quite good. Right? Like all of this stuff just gets wiped.
Except unless you can make your Voice of the Blessed big enough in time. But if you can't.
Yeah. But then like it's like susceptible to targeted removal early. I just think, right, it's just creatures at the end of the day.
I'm scared of this deck, man. I don't know about you. I'm terrified of Esper Clerics. So maybe there's something in here. Like we already said about Inquisitor Captain, but man, Voice of the Blessed is too good. And then you play Pyre of Heroes, and you're able to just sacrifice your stuff if it's going to die anyway and go get something else and put it onto the battlefield. Annoying.
I think that this is a classic case of, I think that Inquisitor Captain we already named is a problem.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I think that it is a bad matchup for other creature decks. And like, that's just kind of one of those things where it's like that happens, right? In the rock, paper, scissors of a good format.
Yeah.
Right. In a good like in a healthy in like alchemy environment, there is stuff that it's just like, well, your deck, like werewolves can't be great against everything because then that's a broken format.
Can't it?
It can't, Maria. That's bad for the format. Right. And so like there needs to be something like clerics to keep it in check while werewolves is trying to keep control in check and control is trying to keep clerics in check.
I'm sitting here saying that this creature deck is too good.
Yeah.
I mean, you did it for the control deck too. So
yeah.
Yeah. But that's how I feel. Esper Clerics, I don't like you. I'm sorry. And I know I tweeted like, what, alchemy deck should I play? And people are like Esper Clerics. And you know what? Like, you're right. But also, Anyway, Esper Clerics, Esper Control, Werewolves are our choices for the top 3 current best alchemy decks out there right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Rakdos, I think, is a tier below that in that mid-range flavors that we were talking about. And I think that's kind of the best of the best when it comes to where alchemy is at currently. By the time we get done recording this episode, who knows? Maybe there'll be nerfs and power-ups.
Maybe.
If you have an alchemy list that you think is super cool, you can tweet it at us at GLHF Magic. We would love to see it. And just let us know, what you've been playing, what you've been enjoying.
Maria, we are going to wrap up the last 5 of the little mini Daily MTG features on some very cool art that's coming up in Kamigawa Neon Dynasty.
Yeah, we've already done a whole bunch of these features.
Yeah,
you can
last week.
You can read them if you want, but we've got the A+ recaps here.
The hot recap for
Hot recap. Where are we starting?
So we're starting at the Shattered States era.
Oh.
So these are, again, like they're these long, gorgeous vertical arts that we think mean probably that they're on sagas again.
Yeah.
To tell the history of Kamigawa. And this is one that shows us like this beautiful sword hilt.
Oh my gosh.
That is representative, like that is supposed to depict this era, which is where after we talked about Michiko Konda, who helped like bring peace back to Kamigawa between the kami and the people.
Killed her dad.
Killed her dad. Sad story. Anyways, so for a long time it was like normal, like what you think of as like a normal emperor succession where it's bloodline, right?
Yes.
Where it's like kids or whatever. But eventually, and there was an emperor who died without an heir.
Yeah.
And so obviously there was a crisis where some people were like,
classic.
It should be her brother. And some people were like, no, it should be her husband.
Yeah.
And so there was a big feud about it. And finally, this guy from the Yamazaki clan who is in the Konda military was like, you're doing something that's bad for all of Kamigawa by fighting like this, right? Like, you're not keeping Kamigawa's best interests at heart.
And that was her whole deal.
Exactly.
Hello.
You're all about just like trying to get power for yourself.
Sure.
And that's not cool. So he went ahead and just like
said, I'm emperor.
No. He killed the emperor's husband.
Oh,
he killed the husband and he went to also just go kill the brother.
Yeah. I mean, like,
it was just like, it's not going to be anybody. And so he and
he was like, this is now a democracy.
Yeah. He and the brother were about to fight when Kyodai was like, no, don't you freaking dare. Like, how dare all of you little squabbling humans. So she took away the hereditary aspect of
this is the
emperor.
kami that was friends.
Yes. That had like the telepathic bond with Michiko.
Right. Okay.
Yes. So Kyodai's still there. And has like a telepathic bond with each emperor in succession, right? And so she's like, no more of this. The emperor's not going to be chosen by blood anymore. The kami are going to get together and elect a ruler.
Oh.
So it's a kami democracy.
I see.
Where they pick the human ruler. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
So that's that one. This moment when the emperorship was no longer hereditary. The emperorship.
The emperorship.
Yeah. Next up is the era of enlightenment.
Okay.
Which is this beautiful like wall tapestry
Get
style
out.
art.
Get out.
Isn't it great?
This is gorgeous.
It's really, really gorgeous.
So pretty.
So yeah, this is just like a time of peace and prosperity.
Oh,
The
that
end.
sounds nice. There was this time when everything was good. Let's make a tapestry about it.
Okay, that's not entirely true. Things were good, and then people started noticing more and more kami popping into the world.
Yeah.
And the kami who popped into the world were like kind of like distressed and angry because they were distressed, and they were like, "What's going on?" And so it turned out that there were just like the mortal and the spirit worlds were starting to overlap.
Okay.
Right? Which we
Yep,
talked a little
yep.
bit about before. Like there's more and more kami now. So this is back when they first started to overlap. And it was like chucking all these kami
like,
into the mortal world. And the kami were like, what are we doing here?
I was just on the toilet and now I'm here.
Exactly.
I didn't ask for this.
And so a bunch of people got together, like 3 groups of mortals, which are like the imperial scholars and everyone, and the moon folk. And then the scholars and monks in the Jukai forest all got together and they're like, what's going on? Did a little research into it. And then they made these gates around every rift, which are supposed to be like a way to help the kami better arrive in the mortal world as these two places start to overlap.
I mean, if you go through a gate, you just feel better about wherever you're going to end up.
As opposed to just popping through randomly, like a random portal that just appeared, right? If there's like a nice gate that you're going through and you're like, oh.
Let me ask you, you've got a dentist appointment coming up. Would you feel better about going if you went through a gate when you went there?
Yes, absolutely. Would I be happy about it? No. Would I feel better about it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
totally.
I would.
100%.
So anyways, yeah, so they made these things. They're called the merge gates. And it also kind of symbolizes that time when the 2 worlds started to merge more.
All right.
So era of enlightenment.
Oh, wonderful. Can't wait to see that card.
Next up is Teachings of the Kirin. I don't know as much about this one. There's going to be a lot of stuff that, okay. There's things called the Orochi, which are like serpent warriors. And back in original Kamigawa, they had 2 legs and 4 arms.
Great.
Which you can fight great when you have 2 legs and 4 arms. I just want to
And
point
you're like,
out.
have a serpent body?
Yes, you got a lot to work with.
Probably pretty good.
They were a long time ago. They also lived in the Jukai forest, which is this very big forest full of kami. And then like as the city started to grow, the forest started to get destroyed.
Yep.
And obviously the kami were all very, very mad. And so they kicked out all living beings in the forest. Humans, but they also kicked out the Orochi, even though they were like, hey, we weren't really doing anything except
we just live here.
Chilling here. And since the forest was like their homeland, they struggled to fit in Kamigawa with all the people. And they were also cut off from like the source of their magical powers.
Yeah.
Because they used to, in the forest, when they were able to tap in to like the kami and like their powers and use that to do some magical stuff, right?
Sure, yeah.
Very nice for them. So the Orochi were like, help us, please. And the Kirin were like, hey, like, you just need to prove to yourself that, like, or not prove to yourself, you need to prove to the kami that, like,
that you're not bad.
That you're not bad, and, like, that you are willing to, like, make a sacrifice for the forest, because they were mad about all of these people just, like, eating up the forest land. Right? So, like, make a sacrifice to show that you will sacrifice things for the forest instead of just taking from it.
And the Kirin, they've been on a few cards in Magic that I remember.
Yeah.
You know, before obviously, I'm not referencing Kamigawa, but I feel like I've seen Kirin before on cards.
They're, like, you know, really, like, they are a type of kami.
Oh, okay.
Here. They can look like kind of like horses or dragons or deer.
Yeah,
or
that's
goats,
what I was thinking.
They can
of.
fly.
Yeah, flyers.
Yes, and they walk on the clouds.
Oh, great.
Yeah, we've seen them in Tarkir.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So anyways, the Kirin were like, hey, if you give up a set of arms and legs, and
you're gonna have to make this pretty good, whatever you say next.
If you give up a set of arms and legs, then like we'll give you your powers back. And the Kami,
messed up, man.
the Kami specifically did this because they were like, they're not gonna go for it. All right, like we set them up, and they're not gonna go for it. And the Orochi were like, do you know what?
Yeah.
Take all of our arms. Take all of our arms and legs. Make us straight up snakes.
Weird worm people.
Yes. And so, anyways, they gave the Kami were very, very chill about it. And they were like, that's wonderful. So they gave them new powers and a new form.
I hope so.
And so it looks like, I believe that they now have their snakes with 2 arms.
Okay. At least they gave them those in the end.
Yeah. Anyway, so they tell us a little, like, this art is like this beautiful vase.
Yes.
With flowers in it. And the end of this part is like, it's a very like popular story that no one knows how true it all is. They're like, maybe the Orochi are just saying this to explain why they look so weird.
Yeah, it's like what happened to the Klingons in Star Trek.
Yeah.
We don't talk about
So it says the vase shows Orochi in their legless form as a celebration of their new shape and is used to hold an arrangement of flowers magically grown to evoke the Kirin. Arrangements like this are commonly found in many Orochi homes.
I love this story. This is my favorite of all of the stories so far.
I love that this is one that doesn't tie in directly into like the bigger picture of Kamigawa. It's just like, okay, now we're going to tell you the weird fable that the snake people tell themselves about why they have 2 arms. But when they used to have 4 arms and 2 legs.
Yeah, I love it because this is like the weird stuff when you like really dig into like Grimm's fairy tales or whatever, and you're like, whoa,
very
this
weird.
is really
very
messed
strange.
up. That's what this reminds me of. And people are like, oh yeah, that's just a story. And then you're like, well, let me think about it for a second.
Okay.
A+.
All right, next up is the modern age. This art is wild. Have you seen this art?
Oh my gosh, this looks like something you would see in Tron.
Yeah, it is. It looks like a light, right? Like a drawing made with light.
Like if you were battling in space and you had the outlines of the ships you were to attack.
Yes, is what this looks like.
That's what it looks like. Wow, that is unlike any magic art I've ever seen in a normal set.
Yeah, and this is just like a little bit about all of the ways that different factions have kind of been trying to expand their access to magical power.
I mean,
and their access to the spirit realm. So the Imperials, which are like the Emperor and all their forces, their posse, yes. Are like trying to control the flow of new technology and stability. But then there's the new order of Jukai who think that like the unrestrained use of technology is people just like messing around with forces that they don't understand, and it's all going to end very, very badly.
Yeah.
And like pull apart both the spirit and the mortal world.
Sure. Yeah.
Some kami are like, this technology is bad thing, and some of them are like, hey, this is like we're pro this. We're pro this new technology. And so some people are like, oh, if there's new kami that are like pro these technological advances, does that mean that like this advancement is changing the soul of Kamigawa itself? If the kami are like the spirit realm and are meant to reflect the soul of the plane, and some of them are like, this tech is a good thing, does that mean that for the soul of Kamigawa, the tech is a good thing?
I mean, this is the same question Magic players are asking themselves right now with this release of Neon Dynasty, honestly.
Yeah.
Some people are like, I don't like the shift into new tech kind of magic world, which is sci-fi, which we've never done before. And some people are like, this is awesome.
Yeah. So there you go.
Wow. Okay. Well, that art is spectacular.
Yeah. And then the last one is Boseiju Reaches Skyward.
Wow.
Which is this like incredible
it's a
mosaic of Boseiju, who is the great big tree. And I told you a little bit earlier about how as the city that it was in grew and grew and grew, they started taking huge parts of the Jukai forest.
Yeah.
And obviously all the kami were like, don't you frickin' dare.
Yeah.
So there started to be like a really big, a lot of like heated interactions between them, some fighting, etc.
Yeah.
And so finally, the Imperials came and like brokered a deal where they're like, anything that you already took from the forest, you can like and started to develop, you can finish developing, but you cannot take anything else.
Okay.
And Boseiju, who is like big enough that it was already in the city, like already now bounded by the city, you can never touch that tree. Right? Like, don't you dare touch that tree.
Great.
And for a long time, so
can I hug it?
You can hug it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you can't tear it down.
Sure.
So like as the city was growing, now it grew up, obviously, because it couldn't grow out anymore because of the forest. And so they were making skyscrapers, and then they were all taller than Boseiju, and then all of a sudden Boseiju started to grow more and more and more. And then they tried to build skyscrapers taller than it, and the tree was like, I don't think so. And so now it's way taller than the city. Every time they try and grow bigger than Boseiju is like, no,
I don't think so.
I will be the biggest thing here.
The best part is the art is like the roots are what's doing it. It's not just making its branches taller.
It's huge.
This is like the roots are like
down. Yeah.
Oh, my roots are so tall.
Right. And in the last art that we saw, the one that is like the gorgeous
Tron.
Yeah, Tron light drawing, you can see how much more
that's
the tree
Boseiju.
tower.
Oh, yeah.
Right, like here's the city and its skyscrapers, and here's the tree being
That
like,
tree is winning.
this is my space.
That tree's winning.
Yeah.
And there's now DJs
I
on
cast
Kamigawa.
shade on all your city. I drink your milkshake.
This tree is drinking Kamigawa's milkshake big
It really
time.
is. It really is.
Wow. And so that brings us up to date
Yeah,
with everything that's happened
that's
in
what we know.
Kamigawa. Wow.
And then next week, we'll start in on the story of Kamigawa Neon Dynasty.
Very exciting.
And figure out what's happening with Kato.
You know, what a great trip this has been. We've covered this over three episodes of Good Luck High Five of all of this backstory into Kamigawa. It has been so cool.
Yeah.
This has never happened for us with a Magic set where we've gotten to
Yes,
have this
so much backstory.
And I really like it.
Yeah, agree.
The closest thing I can think of is Dominaria, but that was already established. And this, I feel like we're getting new insights into past stuff that we wouldn't have gotten otherwise.
Yeah, very cool stuff.
Everybody, it is now time to say thank you to Ultra Pro for being another one of our incredible sponsors.
Yeah, we have here some of their sweet sleeves.
These are so cool.
Yeah, they're very, very cool.
So
these are all werewolves.
These are all alt art werewolves.
They're great.
Which is really, really neat because you don't get to see this art all the time.
No.
And it even looks different than if you see it on a card because, of course, there's no border and no text box.
This is Graveyard Trespasser.
I love that one.
Yeah.
That one's so pretty. Who do I have here? I can't even recognize them, honestly. But, like, they are the alternate art of the cards.
They're great. So if you want to celebrate some wolves in your life.
Yeah.
You have some, you have some wolves.
I mean, Meghan is a wolf in your life.
I am a wolf. Ultra Pro is also very kindly providing us with gift cards for our Good Luck High Five No Invitational, which is a tournament that we're hosting at the end of February that will be open to anybody who wants to register. More on that when registration opens on February 1st, but they're just such a wonderful sponsor that they're like, yeah, of course, we will give gift cards for people like to give out as prizes for this tournament.
Yeah, so get excited to hear more about that. We're giving out awesome prizes like the gift cards. We're giving out gem codes. We're giving out qualifier weekend invites.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty big deal. And we have Ultra Pro to thank for giving out some of the rewards for that sweet tournament.
Yeah.
Everyone, that's this episode of Good Luck High Five. Wolf sleeves.
I'm feeling it today. Are you feeling it?
What do you mean? What's it?
The weight of the world. You feeling tired?
I thought you were gonna be like, Neon Dynasty's coming on. I'm so hyped.
No, I just mean I'm tired.
It was the opposite,
right?
Oh yeah, it was.
I am excited about Neon Dynasty, but I'm just like, woof, man. January sucks.
January is the worst month. There.
Okay, wait. Or is February worse though?
No way,
Maria. I think February is the worst month. I think it's gonna get worse for a month, and then it will get better.
Oh, I hope not.
Remember, it sounds like you're saying you hope it won't get better.
Oh no.
Remember, it will get better January and February really suck. And if you're having just like a hard frickin' time, we get it.
Yeah.
We get it.
They'll be done soon enough.
Yeah.
I wanted to say that if Neon Dynasty can't come soon enough for you, like I'm one of those people, this Friday is the double feature draft event on Arena. So we're going to combine combine Crimson Vow, and we can combine Innistrad Midnight Hunt into one. So that'll be kind of fun.
Yeah, very cool.
Because we played events where it was sealed with a combo of those, and I think it was better.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to see what the draft environment will be if those two mashed up. And then, of course, your LGS will be holding events like that, too. Check with them to see if they're doing that. And those will be the black and white cards, which
very cool.
I saw the foil treatment on one of those lands. It looks so cool.
Nice.
You can't tell what land it is, but
well,
no idea what color mana that land produces. But I will say it looks like a piece of silver in your hand.
Amazing.
You know? So it's pretty neat. Yeah, spoilers starting this Thursday. We'll have all of that. New story, our spoiler card, which I'm very excited. Our preview card, which I'm very excited to debut.
Me too.
Next week.
Woof. Woof.